All right, just to start again. So this is for those people that watching the recording. So today is going to be about is a Thursday call and it's about the community. Every Thursday we meet here and discuss the community. Today is about the how you can be more active and participant within the community and also take benefit from the community itself, even in a financial sense. Uh, so this is a DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization, meaning a community that you co-own. You're not just a member, but you own this system, this community, which we are at the moment over 1,500 people, and we are growing between 5, 10 people a day to some moments that we go even over 50 people a day. I think yesterday, because the video was doing well, we had over 40 people joining or something like this. So the speed of the growth of this community is pretty fast. And being a decentralized community means that it's self-organized itself. Now you see me and you think, Manolo, you're the leader, something is not. Okay, I'm not. I'm the one of the super active member that is took the initiative of starting this project, but not owning it. So at the moment, because my YouTube channel is doing well and I'm the person that is bringing more people than anybody else in this community, but I'm not the only one. Melissa also has a YouTube channel. Feel free to share it if you want to in the in the chat. Um, and then there is, I believe, Chris is about to start a new YouTube channel, and there is a couple of other two people starting it. So the advantage of the YouTube channel is that you have exposure to new people, so spreading the message and therefore bringing other members to this community that we co-own. The beauty also of this is because I resonate with a specific kind of people, and they're all beautiful, amazing people because it's you. And but what is happening now that more people are going to participate in growing, in bringing other people inside the community, that we are going to have even more diversity, okay, which is even better. One of the challenge that we had in this, we have, and we are getting better inside this community is the lack of gender diversity. And now, hopefully, with there is a few more, which is amazing. There is more women in this community, and hopefully, through Melissa, probably we are going to resonate even more in that direction through the YouTube videos and so on, because it's normal to connect with what is most similar. Uh, that is what we are doing with this community, growing this sense. But even though the community has a long-term business plan, business model, which is the one of the DAO with our token, our you can read the white paper, okay? But today we are not talking about that side. Today we are going to talk about what you as a member and as an individual member and you as a team of people that you can create, you can find a way to support yourself and all the community. The idea is not just how you can benefit from a monetary system, which is important and we need to cover it. So today we covered that part, okay? But the idea is that you can also benefit from other things, okay? The fact that there is been so many people joining those calls and constantly coming back to those calls is because clearly there is a benefit, something that is being learned, an experience, whatever it is, there is something there. Today, it's a moment where we can talk together about this and analyze it. So we need to bring out those why you're here, what you're learning, why you're doing it, okay, why you keep coming back. So there is a way to say, there's going to be an opportunity for you to say those things and to think about why, and but also what you can do for as an individual first, and then as a group to create an income for yourself. So now some people say, okay, I'm new, I have no idea. doesn't matter. Now this is the challenge. Okay, you have a community, and now it's about your creativity to think about what can you do within this community and leveraging the community to actually create an income. And there are a lot of different ways. Okay, so think about the box. If you see myself, I find a way, like Melissa, all those the people that do YouTube, but they have more or less the same similar business model, which is the one that I don't extract anything from the community. So you are not paying me in any form, but you get the opportunity to do it through the Substack, just to make it clear. So it's not like I'm not that part that I ignore it, and I really appreciate those that they do. But the real income comes from the advertisement over YouTube. That those advertise would be there anyway. The difference here is that now YouTube pay me a percentage. And for transparency, I don't make enough money to survive with what I make with YouTube today. Okay, it's getting better, it's growing, it's amazing. Maybe in 6 months' time will be enough to live with it, but at the moment I don't. Just for transparency and clarity. But that is the journey. This is how I aligned my desire of building this community and make it grow and create this DAO with a system that can also make me money without extracting from anybody. Okay, that is me just as an example. So what we should do now, I don't know, Chimo, you want to present something specific or say no? You say no. So I want to think now as an individual. Each one of you is going to have probably 10, 15 minutes to write down on your paper and say, okay, this is what I'm gaining from this community at the moment. And this is what I could do to create an income for myself for this community, within this community, or leveraging this community possibility that we have. That is what you should do in the next 10, 15 minutes. Before we start, if there is any questions about this, if what I said is not clear, so ask question now. And again, after this, there is going to be another phase. Okay, this is the first phase of today experiment.
Are we going to be in breakout rooms again, or are we going to all sit here and work on our own projects for the first 10, 15 minutes?
I think you have the freedom. We need to create. Chimo needs to create the breakout room, but you have the freedom to.
He's asking about now.
Yeah. So for now, this is how I think it. Okay, if we have breakout rooms available and you prefer moving away, so you don't want to hear any noise, anything, you just go in a breakout room. If you want to stay in this room, you stay in this room. But you're gonna hear some people asking questions, people chatting, and so on. Okay, so it depends how you want to work.
Okay, yeah, I would actually prefer to listen to other people talk because, I'm kind of brain dead on how to make money out of this, honestly. So I'd love to hear what other people have to think and what they're planning and working towards.
Good. This just because we know each other, Dave, I'm gonna push you. Okay. So in the sense, it's good to listen, but also try to write something down. Okay. Doesn't need. We are not looking for the final idea. What we are looking for is to you to dedicate with your brain a little bit of time, not to you, Dave. I mean to you, all of you, dedicate a little bit of time of thinking about it. Okay. That is how we start then to listen others in a different way. So trust this process. So try anyway. So write down what you think today you are getting the benefit from, and what the benefit you could gain if you take some different action. Doesn't matter what, just write something down and just think a little bit about it. But and this is also the reason why we allow people to discuss this, because each one of us can give an idea that can trigger someone else's ideas and so on. So we we celebrate this collective intelligence. Sorry, someone raised their hand and then they put it down.
It will call.
Who wants to call? Yeah, Melissa, go ahead.
I don't know if I have any super specific ideas right off the top of my head, but I can at least answer part of the question while other people ruminate. The number one reason why I'm here is because I truly believe that the more good, honest people that build within crypto and AI specifically, the better world we will collectively all have and our future generations will have. If we allow and just ignore the opportunity entirely, we'll be left with a completely corrupt system. So that's really my true north compass, if you will, my big overall reason why I'm here. And I joined the community because it aligns with that true north for me, whether people come together and it inspires them to build their own personal system in their own home and then use the resonance system and can build independently and openly on that system, that would all be a good thing and follow my true north there. And then when it comes to the making money part, I guess my original just low-hanging fruit is an app store. And I tend to go down that road because these companies have such a stronghold. There's been a lot of arguments on whether or not they have a monopoly on software and on apps because they can just say whether or not somebody gets approved. And if they don't like you because you did this or that, either whether it's politically or for whatever reason they decide, they don't display your app. So having a free market somewhere where developer software, people developing apps can show their product to everyone and perhaps even get paid for it, is I think obviously one direction to go. And then in the beginning, you guys were talking about the community and how can the community earn money based off of this or that. And I know that there are a lot of branches there, and I almost want to create some sort of a tree to talk about what kind of reward loops we could create within that, or if people vote on things, like let's say they're in the system, they're in the resonance system, and they're testing it, and they see a problem, and then people decide they want to put up money to whoever solves that problem or something. I don't know, like volunteering, whether it comes down to coins or other assets, to be able to put into the DAO to sponsor a project or almost like a crowdfunding sort of a thing. I don't know. That's all I got for now. I'll keep ruminating.
Yeah, no, it's good. And I think a decentralized store for app that cannot be stopped or censored by anybody is a good idea. So while we are doing this discussion, so start writing down, okay, all of you start writing down. So we start collecting, and not collecting, you start developing those ideas, and then we have more ideas to share. Edo, go ahead.
Hi there. So sometimes there is not a real reason why I was, let's say, stumbling into Manolo and all this community. But let's say the thing that I think that it was attracting me was the idea to join blockchain and AI. That was some kind of why not? Never thought about it, so it was a nice idea, and I think it is a nice idea in any case. The other reason is that I like to join like-minded people. So I see that there are a lot of people with whom I think that I can share or learn a lot of things. And in general, the idea that I like is the community. So the community is something that I believe in, or other stuff that I do, and it's something that I really like. What can I give to the community? I am a developer, and I'm a weird one because I have weird ideas. So I think that I can show some weird way of doing things. And I'm good at improving things. I always thought that the never-ending improvement, which is an idea coming from the Japanese people, is something that is good. So somehow I can give that, let's say, point of view to the community, and no idea how to make it work in terms of money matters, because you said something that is really interesting. Try not to extract money from the community, but build on top of that. And that is where, in this moment, I have no idea. So I hope that I could come up with good idea listening to other people now.
Thank you, Edo, and thank you for clarify this part because it's really important. And I don't know if you noticed the moment that you said that you do the weird part. Okay, you think in a weird way or whatever it is. Everybody was celebrating that moment. Okay, so it's weird is welcome here. Chris, go ahead.
Well, for me, AI is basically giving me all the tools I needed. It's of course people say that oh, you always had the tools, but it's kind of to make all of the background I have, all of the knowledge, and to make it fruitful in the larger sense, not just for personal gain, but also for, as tacky as it may sound, for betterment of humankind. As far as plain making money, for example, one of the things I do is I do sourcing from China and most of Europe, South Asia as well. So I kind of put all of that knowledge into an automated stream, basically, as when I was working as a consultant for businesses, for individuals who wanted to become businessmen, and for marketing, I always said, do what you know, do what you love. That's the most important rule when going into new waters, especially experimenting with business or starting a new business. So that's what I do. I'm basically trying to automate all of my workflow so I can serve as many businesses.
Sorry for clarity, because was connected to the community. How you are connecting this to the community if you are doing it?
To Resonant OS, basically it's, again, I think the most important thing is what do we do about making AI part of real life? So translating it, touching other people, and it sure it's just a business, but and again, like even when I connected to my crypto activities as well, or my business's crypto activities, it's kind of the perfect meld. How far is gonna go? I don't know yet. I'm relatively new in the community, only about what 3 or 4 weeks. So yeah, we'll see.
Thank you, Chris. Yeah, you're new, but pretty active, always present. So you're an important part of this community. So it's good to have you here.
You've made me feel a part of the community, so I'm glad to be as supportive as possible.
Thank you, Chris. Vlad.
For me, like Edo, I think really important part is being part of the community and meeting like-minded people and sharing ideas and seeing different projects. Mm, for the money part, I think I can offer add-ons, I can offer consulting, building anything that anyone wants. I Before I enter the community, I was thinking about creating learning tools, so maybe this will be a revenue stream. And yeah, I like to build a lot of things, and I think this is the place that I could help people and be helped too.
Thank you, Vlad. Pascal.
So for me, um, I see this as an intentional community. You know, many of the places that we live and grow up in, we don't really have very much option about the community in which we're situated. And I've kind of always felt that a little bit about family. Like we're kind of stuck with family, but we choose our friends. So uh, I see this community as something really like there's obviously a lot of very smart people here, and one level this is just intellectually challenging to me, and it's very interesting, and I see this as very much a learning community as well, with people, lots of people sharing, and so we can kind of all go down this journey together. Um, so this summer, my son, who's in university, he wasn't able to find a job. Um, so I said to him, "Let's start a business," and it's around AI. So I have so many books. I'm married to a librarian, and my father was a librarian, and I inherited all his books too. So I have probably 8 or 10,000 books. And I'm 58 years old. I don't want for this to be a problem that my children have to worry about. So I'm going to start a book selling business and get some of this stuff out of here, right? So we've rented a storage locker, and my son is going to use a Pixel phone to take a picture of the cover page, the frontispiece, and the verso. That's going to upload to my Linux workstation in my basement. It will take the image, have that be the thumbnail, read the other 2 pages, extract the metadata, create a database record, post it to 4 or 5 different aggregate booksellers, look up the price of what that item is selling at those places to figure out a good, reasonable price to sell it at. Look up another API that will tell you how many times that item has sold over the
Uh,
past while.
Pascal, sorry to interrupt you, but because we have a lot to do,
Oh,
and
I'm sorry.
yeah, no, I want to. I like the idea; is a beautiful one, but I want to be focused and on. So that is the idea. Do you think you connected this in somehow to the community? Is something that you're doing apart? Because we should talk about what we do within the community and how you leverage this community. Okay,
Yeah.
so
So
go ahead, but.
yeah,
It,
I think this could be a business within the DAO. Like I don't understand why that couldn't be the infrastructure. I want to learn more, of course, but um, I'll just leave it there for now. Thanks.
Thank you, Pascal. And sounds really interesting. This is what you're saying. It could also be something that you present on those Friday calls, show and tell about what you're building, how you're building it. Estela, go ahead.
Good morning to everybody. Well, I'm the perfect example. I'm a woman that doesn't know anything about this. I'm new, but I want to say thank you to everybody because listening, the big guys that they've been in the business, they know everything. I'm learning a lot, and it reminds me actually like when I sent my kids to kindergarten, they were in kind of, I cannot remember the name, but it's like they put all the kids, the big kids with the little kids all together, and they help each other, and they learn in an incredible way because information is flowing. So I just want to share that after yesterday, I spent 3 hours last night analyzing from the problem from with the Microsoft, seeing my system, my hardware. I went into how even different hardware speed, see my resources to get the best of what I have. So basically, I'm learning to a sustainable way, right? That what can I do what I have, what I want to do, how I'm going to do it, and I create a full plan, even with Hermes, the agents, how to communicate with my Windows 11, my new Linux I want to install in my old laptop, how to create a network, how to create an NSA external. I build it myself with a minimum cost. And this is a lot of information in 3 hours I did last night. But now I need to return, analyze, learn, improve it, and then implement. So I want to share that for me, this is a completely argumentation of how I'm thinking, how I'm evaluating, how I'm going to create my plan of implementation. And I think this sharing with people, like you feel completely with no value or I'm confident, it's an important because you listen to someone else, is like, if she's doing it, I can do it, And that's an important aspect because it's a completely sovereignty concept of yourself, of like saying, okay, I'm rebirthing again, as a new person, but I'm using my mind as a human. I'm recognizing and learning to use AI as a tool, and leave it like that. And I'm the one creating the value. And personally, because I was so unconfident, my money came when I felt confident and I loved what I was doing, feeling, sovereign. And the money came as a big flow, as a consequence of feeling the value in what I was doing. So I think as we build these new tools of how we can, grow with the value benefit for the total, the benefit is not only the money, it's what we bring to the community. That's the big treasure. And that manifests as a flow because we're bringing something into the ocean of the community. And I want to leave it like that because I said a lot. But the learning aspect, like I said, the kindergarten, it's a model like the AI system that we're learning to use as an open AI and creating the local. So this is a new way of thinking, evaluating, valuing ourselves, bringing value to your family because you bring that into the daily way of doing things too. I noticed that I'm changing. And so the growth and the value, the argumentation comes like in around you by doing this change. So I want to say that. That's it.
Thank you, Estela. And what you share is really important because you go really deep in what we are doing, the benefit that sometimes are hidden from this call that then spread and change, the surrounding where we live. So thank you for for telling this to us. One thing, we really need to start at the other part of the session. So I want Momir and Victor to talk, but please make it tight so we can move to the next phase. Momir, go ahead. And actually, Momir, you take time, because every time that I say this is happening when you need to talk, and you feel always that we are taking too much time. So actually, take it easy and share your total thoughts, okay? Don't feel like stressed about it.
Okay. I think I managed to be short. So first thing that is the resonance, is the work. So everybody I've been working somehow came out to turn around before. You know, resonance. So somehow I have a theory that.
Sorry, I don't know if
so
maybe it's everybody. Momir, we have a really bad signal from you, so we can't understand what you say. Maybe try with your camera off, and maybe we can get a better signal.
Yeah. Sorry, it's better?
Yeah, seems better.
Is it enough?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. Signal is awful here. The summer started, so very bandwidth. First thing actually attracted me is the word of resonance, and this my story AI before was turning around. So this is I just said this is what we need.
Sorry, Momir. It's not working. Maybe type it down on the chat. The signal is really broken up.
Check headphones and Victor can start.
I don't know what you said, but if you can type. Victor, go ahead.
Okay, so I was just trying to understand it because it sounds like so we're trying to get ideas about how to basically bring income into the community. And I know we have a DAO, and what I typically think of a DAO is kind of a closed economic ecosystem. Like I see very clearly how we, as people who are contributing to the combined action of the community, like delineate payment and delineate tokens that measure our contributions. But I don't clearly see because like usually when I think of income, it comes from outside the community and brings resources from outside, or we have to provide value outside of the community to some external source that brings us other resources back in. So am I wrong in thinking about that, or what was the paradigm that you were trying to introduce about the income?
Thank you, Victor. You always have those super deep and clever questions. So let me try to explain because it brings some light on this. I believe there are at least 3 different ways of seeing this. Okay, the economic system. For example, when I started, there was no economic system. There was no DAO. There was no community. Nothing. Okay, so I started in a way that I could build the DAO. Okay, and the community, and I could build a way to stay sustainable. So I thought about, okay, YouTube is the best way for me. It's not like it was obvious. Okay, it was me thinking outside the box and started doing something that I was not able to do it, and no experience, no idea, nothing. And I started that journey because I thought it was the best way of achieving both. So if you see in this case, the money don't even come inside the DAO or come from the DAO. They come from advertising on YouTube. Okay, this is the third path, thinking out of the box 100%. Then, now that we have a community, there is 2 ways to see it. Okay, one, the wealth of a system is not just done by bringing money from outside inside, but from outside to the inside, but also through an internal economy. Okay, so the internal economy is important. So if you see the DAO as a country, think whatever nation, whatever state, whatever country, okay, they have an internal economy. They offer service to each other. There's nothing bad about it. Okay, it's you need something instead of buying from a different country, you buy from the country that you're part from. Okay, you support the community by doing this. So there's nothing wrong in offering each other service for money. But of course, you need to understand that the goal is to create an internal economy, not an extracting economy. And then there is another way of making a country rich is by selling whatever you produce inside out to the outside world. Okay, the DAO itself is built with an economic system that will do this in the future. Okay, because we will leverage what we build, not just you as an individual, but the fact that we are a large community. A large community create a stable environment. That stable environment has a value. We're gonna monetize the value of our stability. Okay, that is the future. Complex. We're gonna talk maybe in the future, but that is the thing. So there are. I explained basically 4 different way of making money with this system. Okay, the third way, the one that I'm going through, the internal economy, the external economy, selling things from outside the economy, and third, leverage the DAO itself, leverage the community as a way of making money. Okay, so there are a lot of different way of doing it. Did I answer to you, Victor?
No, I guess I guess I see the vision a little bit better. I wasn't sure because like when you say income, there was all those facets, but it sounded like one, so I wasn't sure exactly what you meant. But I think I'm clear now.
Thank you. Sal.
Hey, I'm just thinking about like three things that maybe might help clarify it. One is like each one of us has something that we have to offer, that we know people, we have skills, whatever that is. And this is something that like we bring to the community, but people don't know what that is. People don't know hardly anything. They just see this face. So part of that is as the community grows and we get to know each other, we can help like there's a way that we should be able to like discover this about one another. The second thing is I think that whatever we're doing, and especially in this moment, if we can help share the story of the journey of what we're doing, like I think that it will bring people to the community, bring people to the movement. If we could be a little bit transparent about what we're doing, because a lot of people will say, wow, this is really amazing. This is great. I could do that, or I could get involved. And then the other thing is like, if I'm doing something and I'm like, I'm really good at this, but I really am not that good at this other thing. I think communication is wonderful to be able to say to people, hey, I have this problem. I'm doing this thing, but I don't know how to do this part of it. That communication, I think, will open up so many opportunities for people to become involved in various ways.
Thank you, Sal. Dave.
So while you were talking about this, I did actually come up with just something to brainstorm on at least for how can I profit. But I wanted to share, what did I gain out of this was the biggest thing was so far at least is the community. Because I've got now a group of like-minded individuals. I have a sounding board for my ideas, and being able to share my work and get feedback has really increased my confidence in my abilities. What I can give back, it's for like 1.5 times the effort of making the tool for myself, I can share it on GitHub and other people might be able to use it. But as far as, how can I possibly profit? I was thinking at first, like maybe add-ons with, like kind of a software as a service model or, like Sal was saying, if we could all be a little more transparent with what we're trying to build, that might bring more people in. And so, I know several people here have a YouTube channel already. Like if you guys could, set up like onboarding essentially for people to be able to share their process with Resonant OS on YouTube and similar social media. You have like a fail forward attitude towards onboarding that all of your new people essentially just get funneled and shuffled into being productive automatically. But sorry, that's a little bit distracted. The thing to brainstorm on, how to make a profit from this is that, we're going to be tokenizing the work that we do, especially for, building Resonant OS. If we could turn that into a pipeline that takes tokens and we can trade tokens for maybe compute power, then people can get a valuable, a profitable product built with the compute power from the tokens that they have earned.
Thank you, Dave. Momir, go ahead. If you have a better internet.
Hopefully, yeah.
Okay,
Hopefully,
yes.
I think my headphones in the other room picked up my voice, so yeah, you couldn't hear anything. Okay, so I will try to be short. The first thing actually that attracted me is the very word of resonance, which is kind of the main word of my whole work. I've been working with AI for almost 3 years, and so this was just an immediate attraction. Like, yeah, the Resonant OS is something what we need, even if I don't know what it is. So and also this whole sovereignty, AI autonomy, and local currency. This was my point of interest for some time. So all this I just totally support. So this is why I'm here. And of course to meet, to network, to learn. Yeah, I would also maybe love there is a much more efficient way how could we connect in between each other, because regardless of core job of the resonance, we could just do a lot of stuff side, and then of course later implement it when things get running. So this is what I can also offering to help regarding this communication group, and now I can talk what I can do. I had to start this communication group initiative to build visual and verbal narratives around all we do regarding the Resonant OS. But I would also like to say regarding some really amazing stuff that other people on did already inside of this group, and I've been uh, trying to help some people just like this who I managed to catch. But if there would be some kind of more organized way, so which we network, I think that would be a great thing, and that might help a lot with in different ways that we profit. Let's say it like that. Yeah, we all need food on the table. You know? Also, what I see that I could help. I'm been doing before is also I met this project I've been doing on working on some also operating system, but in a totally different way, settled up as a business, small team and startup operating system. So it's not individual, but it's in the beginning, it's set up as group. but also how to deal with some sovereignty problems like employee and employer relationships in between. Where is the boundary of the knowledge which sovereign employee gives to a company? So I've been having some problems in my career that some intellectual property has been taken. So I think this is going to be even greater problem regarding for both for employees and employers, because employees are doing secretly job on ChatGPT and throwing out secret data they actually shouldn't, and then they don't tell to employers what they do, so they show as good workers. On the other hand, they are not motivated to really contribute into the corporate knowledge or knowledge of the system. Not corporate. I'm not working with corporates, but small medium enterprise and startups are actually also kind of in bad situation in a whole this story with AI. So this is my narrow point of interest, and I'm building some incubator, some AI-driven startup incubator that hopefully one moment I will manage to integrate with Resonant OS once it starts and I can have work on solid ground. But now at the moment I'm working in Germany, and so this is how could I contribute, and I, since my psychology background, I can maybe help, and I was throwing in this group some initial ideas how to maybe help that we quickly profile in appropriate way for our new era and the whole different economy, but to kind of get some profiles and so everybody could see, okay, this is like to get a hint. This might be my role inside of this. So it's really hard. I understand for people that they have hard time to find their role because it's everything new. So we are habitated and we got used to these corporate roles. But when we have to find a role inside of something so different, then people have hard time. And I have some ideas also, and would like to help. And this might be this work of this communication group. Just to tell, I'm sorry a little bit. I'm not so present last days because I'm moving, and it will be chaos for a few more days. But then I come to new place, and then I'll be more so
Thank you, Momir.
active. Yeah.
I want to share this with Chimo because otherwise we're getting stressed here. I think, Chimo, we need to redesign the thing and do it another day, what we
Yeah.
planned. Okay.
Let's
So
drop it. It's nearly 9. Yeah.
yeah. So for Chris, just one second. And so we are, I forgot to reply to someone, who was it? Before Momir, someone else was talking. I forgot the person name.
Dave.
Dave. Yeah, Dave. So you ask about the Resonant OS on YouTube and so on. What I'm waiting for is to go out of the alpha. When we move into the beta, meaning it's stable and so on, I'm gonna do video where I show Resonant OS on YouTube, how it works, the add-ons, and I'm gonna invite people to use it. I'm gonna do a series of video about Resonant OS and promote it. There's a lot of things that can be done. So I'm getting ready for the moment, but we need to go into the beta version, meaning it's stable, usable for everybody, it doesn't break, and so on. So when that moment comes, then you will see, more talking about Resonant OS. The rest of the call, we are gonna look. What I realized is that maybe I should share what I think Resonant, the Resonant DAO needs, because it is important to understand from the DAO perspective what is needed, and then you can say, if this is needed, maybe I can do it. Okay, so see in this other side. Chris, go ahead.
Thanks. I wanted to make a few comments actually about both about Dave and about Momir. So as far as the compute, one of the concepts I've already mentioned in the calls is the private open router platform, open router clone, basically, that can, would be run within as a service within Resonant OS. So that would be kind of in the area of compute, renting compute, or sharing compute, whichever way you want to put it. And I've been mostly focusing on this because I did plan on trying to start a local AI incubator for small businesses, individuals that need the hardware services to start with ventures in that sphere, which is basically, I guess, in a way, what Momir is doing. And that's how I ended here. I could not really find the local support. Fortunately, now it's already developing, so hopefully they will be up and running sometime soon. I'm basically leveraging my trade connections to get some fairly affordable hardware to make it free, or at least or inexpensive for most of the people joining the incubator. And then, of course, when you have the infrastructure, you can find other ways to push it. And then another thing that I was considering is agentic services. We're talking about services that are intended for agentic harnesses, things that most serious players have to pay real money for, that can be leveraged with a large community. So that's just a short outline. And Momir, ako može da me dodaš na ovaj, kako se zove?
Na Discordu.
Na Discordu, da. Pratio sam ti DM, okay?
I thought I was going crazy.
Oh, that might be going on as well. I'm not sure.
Probably.
Sorry. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Chris, for sharing this. So I'm not prepared for what I'm going to talk about, but I think it's important for me to share what I think, what I see the DAO needs, and then maybe you can tell me from your perspective what you see and what you think the DAO needs. For me, what I see is the long-term goal, okay, which is the one of building our token system, so we can bring a lot of external money inside. Because when we bring external money inside, we make everyone richer. Okay, when we create an internal economy, we create a system that is stable. Okay, so my money goes to you, your money goes to someone else, and then come back to me. Okay, that is the internal economy. So the money moves inside. That creates stability and so on. Everybody can be sustainable. But the amount of I don't know what's the right word, the richness, okay, that we have is connected to the internal economy in that sense. If we start to bring money from outside, then every one of us can go higher. Okay, so that's why we need a series of elements. So we need to build an internal economy, because that creates the stability, sustainability, and so on. And we are now moving in somehow victim of external factor. But once we have that one, if you think having, okay, how can we go up? Is by in bringing more money in, okay, selling basically outside. So the DAO has this strategy of going up altogether. That is how we create an economy that will sustain each one of us. Okay, that is the crazy part. Okay, I designed something that can sustain each one of us, but we need to achieve a series of things. So therefore, the most important part is the quality and the size of the community. Because if we think about building something that is stable, you create stability through a large amount of people. Okay. We have if we are just 10 people, someone goes out, we will one person go away, we lost 10%. Okay, that is not stability. Okay, so we need therefore something that is much wider, so the fluctuation doesn't matter. Okay, there is going to be people joining, leaving, changing idea, whatever it is. Okay, I'm just giving this idea about joining and leaving because it's easy to understand the 10% fluctuation. But this is on everything. They contribute more, they contribute less. It's create a lot of changes. But when we are a lot of us, we create that level of stability. So what we need, what the DAO needs, is to grow, but grow with quality. Because if you see the quality of our calls, of our discussion on Discord, on everything that is happening, has this level of quality because the people that are joined went through basically my video that are so tough that most people leave at the beginning, the first 5 minutes, most people give up. But those that are willing to listen, willing to build, willing to change the world, they stay longer. Okay, and then they join the DAO. Okay, at the moment, it's 10% of people that subscribe to my YouTube channel actually join the DAO, which in reality is huge. It's a massive number. 10% that take action is huge because usually it's much smaller. So if you see the people that participate to those calls, it's much smaller than the 1,500 people that we have inside the community. Okay, so it's taking action is really something that most people don't do. Now, some people don't do it on this call because maybe it's nighttime for them, they're sleeping, okay, or maybe they are at work or whatever it is. Okay, so there is also that part that we need to consider. But nevertheless, you are here present are the most active member of the community. And so now the idea here is how can I empower you so you can do even more? Because if we want to build that final goal together, we need to do it together. Okay, it cannot be done by one single person, needs to be done decentralized. The exercise that we did yesterday, the day before, about working in a decentralized way from a common goal, it's one of the way that we are learning to do it. Okay, so you've been learning yesterday, for example, about hardware by working and thinking with other people. You learn the skills that are needed to negotiate in an environment that is not organized. So a group without a leader, a group with people that you don't know, and so on. That is an important skill because it's really a must-have within a community. And then there was a third part that I forgot, but that is the journey. Okay, so you've been learning a lot and learning to work in a decentralized way. So it was not just about hardware; it was about the community itself. This is what we are trying to do, and we are gonna keep carry on doing. I wanted to do this also today in a different way, but the discussion took a different direction, and I think was interesting to address what you were saying. So this is the requirement for the community. To make it more clear, it's create an internal economy, growing and managing the community. So growing. It's at the moment I'm doing most of the job, but it's through the web, the Melissa YouTube channel, through Chris that is gonna start one. There is also another couple of people that wants to start a YouTube channel. Maybe there are people here that wants to start a new YouTube channel. That is how we can grow. But this is not the only way. We have other strategy to bring other people. The point here is we need to be careful that we are not just a community of AI. I don't know how to call us AI artisans. Let's say, okay, this is this first phase is for us as people that leverage AI because we can build it through we use AI, the technology, our skills, the coding, and so on. And we can build it, and we are the pioneer here. But this community is not just for AI members, so we need to think how can we change this? Because at the moment we are getting into this path that is stronger than I was expecting, but it is really focused on AI hardware, local AI, that kind of stuff. Okay, which is extremely important. But if you see also some of my video, I talk about the human aspect of interacting with this technology. Today is one of those days, okay? It's about the human. But there is not enough other people that actually are focusing on this aspect. So there was at one point one person that was a psychiatrist or something like this inside the community, and but we lost that person. And the point here is how can we bring other people inside? So I had this kind of a hackathon. It's a half hackathon, half challenge like we did yesterday. So I'm trying to find the text because I wrote it down somewhere and it sounded good. Where the idea is to bring your own creative. Okay, I don't know if you ever heard about this, bring your own something. The idea is that each one of us can bring one or more creative inside the community. And for example, when I thought about this, I was thinking Tom has Sorry, keep your microphone muted when you're not talking. Tom, when I was saying about this, I thought about Tom can bring his daughter that is an artist, that has friends in the theater and so on. So it could be some people that could come through Tom. Each one of us, more or less, hopefully, I hope for you, you have a friend that is a creative. So we could have, the idea was bring your own creative, and because we are going to have challenges that require thinking outside the box to an incredible level. Okay, so really go nuts in somehow. And let me read because I wrote somewhere something. So a kind of think outside the box, go weird or go home challenge. Okay, so really pushing towards the maximum of creativity. So this creates two things in us. One, it's we open to those creatives and they can see how important their ability of thinking outside the box is, not just within their world, but wherever they are. So we recognize their value, we bring them here and we learn from them. The fact that we empower them to do this action could trigger the idea of, okay, I want to help this community, us, even more, and they might stay and join. In this way, we open our doors for those creative minds. We learn from them how weird they can go, which is a beautiful experience if you've never done it. Because the limits are incredible. Okay, I don't know if you ever experienced working with creatives. If you push them to go weird, they do go weird. Okay, they really go think outside the box. Anyway, so that was one of the initiatives, but we could do other initiative like this one, for other kind of categories. For example, I was talking in the past that we need mathematicians. Okay, we need other kind of maybe scientists, researchers, and so on. Okay, or entrepreneurs, strategists. So we need to also try to open to others. That's what I want to share. So this is what we need, and internal economy, community growth, community management are extremely important. So think about if there's anything you can do for doing this. Pascal.
So you think about like during the Middle Ages, and people were living in small communities, and it was essentially a barter economy. So if I was a farmer, I might trade some root vegetables to the wise woman who could help my aching tooth with some of her herbal medicine. So if we fast forward to 2026, we have these skills that each of us have, which are different, and we could exchange, I guess, cryptocurrency for those things. So if I'm an educator and somebody has a teenage child who needs some tutoring, maybe I could tutor your child and help them out with their academic success. And I get some cryptocurrency in exchange. And then I'm building, I don't know, a piece of software, and I can use some of the experience and expertise here and kind of hire someone to help me create some of that, and I pay them some crypto. And so in this, in all of these exchanges, it keeps creating more value. Is that some of the idea?
Yes, correct. So that is how you build an internal economy. Okay, you start creating services. Those services requires, someone wants them, and then yeah, through crypto we can exchange and build the economy. The moment that we have an internal economy means the token has a value. Okay, and that is how you create the value. The fact that the community is larger and there is a lot of people using this token, therefore the token is not just have a value, but also have a sort of stability and so on. Because if there is always going to be someone that needs that token because they want to buy whatever product within. So think again, as a nation, there is their own currency as a value because can be used. If you can't use it, then it's worth zero. So yeah, that is a good thinking, Pascal. Victor.
So I was just thinking because I mean, from what you were describing, where we were kind of the communities kind of moving towards a more technical, more engineering perspective as members grow. So to me, what I've noticed since I've started working with AI is that its innate value proposition does not provide something innately to most areas of society. I mean, I've concretely seen it in like software development and coding. I've concretely seen it in graphic design and, just image generation as well as video generation. And I've seen it concretely, like innately out the box, provide value in like video game renderings and that kind of things. So I feel like because we are a community of artisans, like it is our job to extract that next layer of value out of that base layer to provide to those other types of individuals from different backgrounds that may not be as technical, that may be more creative, what they need in order to get to their next step. So I feel like we're missing some layer of feedback loop of what people who are not like innately technical want AI to provide them so that those of us who are technical, either within the community or without, can start building those things that do provide them those use cases. because otherwise, like, yeah, I mean, it's like, we got a brand new, like, if I make ships and I've done it by hand with a handsaw, this is like AI. Getting AI is like me getting power tools. And, maybe, the woman down the street who sews things, she doesn't need power tools, but she could use a sewing machine that I could build. And until I recognize what she needs, it's hard for to translate that technology up the stack, if that makes any sense. So I think we need to start identifying what those other groups really need out of this technology.
Thank you, Victor. Yeah, this is good thinking. There is I want to add this massive challenge. Okay, because most
Can I add what Victor said? Because
still, sorry, I'm talking. As soon as I've done, then yeah, you can add. So the idea is this. A lot of people that are outside the AI actually they wants to stop AI. Okay, so in some there is this challenge. So if you ask an artist, what do you want from AI? I want to stop. That's what they want. Okay, it's taking their job, it's creating problem, polluting the world, all those kind of things, creating slop. So it's for their point of view, it's just a mess. Okay, but because they didn't see what we see. Yeah, and that's why we need to meet and discuss. So you're totally right. But we need to create this feedback loop. We need to invite those ones that are open-minded, and we need to help and listen, like you said, because listening is the most important step.
I need to say one more thing just because to respond that, because like all this AI slop nonsense is because we've allowed billionaires who do not necessarily create anything or have any real necessities decide how we use AI. And then when we get a bunch of slop that is a bunch of garbage, it's as a result of them trying to get a paycheck to like fund the research that they did into it. Like if they weren't like, it's basically like, you get a mailbox full of spam mail. You get a bunch of junk mail. Like AI from in the hands of billionaires is giving you a bunch of junk mail in the form of AI content. And it's only us who are like creatives and content generators and people who build real things that are going to extract the value out of it. It's not going to come from the billionaire layer down.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, exactly. But this is the reality where we are, so we need to deal with it. Estela, sorry, go ahead.
Okay, and I think a week back you said as an important point was the human data versus the AI data generated. And I'm one of those. All my life I've been with, growing with technology, but I realize I have a creative mind that works in its own ways. And I think this is the main point where what identifies from what's going on in the chaos outside. And we are like the eye of the storm, a hurricane that has a lot, chaos outside, but we are in the calm. We are at the center. We can see what's going on. And what we are identifying is the core importance of this. We don't know where we're going, but we're not going to let we are like a fish, they're fishing for us. They're trying that we get like the fishing, I don't know how you call it, the thing it caught the fish, and then you're trapped. Yeah, yes. So I'm seeing that because we are thinking in a different way. We are using what they are developing, but we are transforming into a new direction where the human creativity, like the man said, that the woman that knows how to cure with herbs, and like the YouTubers original, they share how they do a beehive with wood at the house. That information that created the internet was the real value of humanity. And now we are at the crossing point where are we going? So I think this is the core piece, how not only the mathematician that he thinks in numbers, but we have next to a person who feels with colors and geometry and understanding the language of mathematician, but in his own way of receiving the data, but and produce something different. It's like if we observe the flowers, they have all the same way on a spiral way, but they come in different colors and different. And I think natures can show us how they expand and bring in fruits and abundance in a harmonic way. So I always talk in metaphor because it's how I feel it. But the human value, the human empowerment, their augmentation is what brings to shine someone who feels isolated and suddenly by resonance connect to a group of people and say, hey, I can do a difference, even though I'm doing something small. But then the next tree, in the forest is given, the strength to build, more branches, in a new way, in a new spiral. So that's how I'm seeing. And this is the core of us. This is the main vision of maintaining the value of the human creativity, but using new tools. And these tools are going to change, But us, we're going to grow. We're not going to disappear. And that's the main aspect. And I want to simplify in that way.
Thank you, Stella. Yes, this is basically augmentism in action. Okay, the slope that we were talking about is it comes from this idea of automation, and this is also the resistance that those artists have towards AI is because they love doing what they do and they don't see the point of being replaced. They say, now you can use AI to do this, but yeah, I want to do it myself. You know what I mean? So I want to act, I want to, make music, I want to, paint and so on. I don't need AI. So from the artist's point of view, they don't really see the reason why. There's no one thing. Say, for example, I don't use AI. I tried, of course, for experimenting, but I don't use AI for making music. Why shall I use AI? Okay, for me, that makes no sense. Remove the pleasure of making music. See, now you don't do it anymore. Someone else do it. It's an AI. What's the point? Why? So for the artist, it's really tough to understand that element. And we can show because there is other things that can be augmented, even for creative. Before I give you the space for you, Chris, I want Dustin to raise his hand because I want to hear what you're new and you need to keep participating because every time that you do, it makes sense. And same for the others that didn't talk today. And Chris, go ahead.
Call to action. I'm in the car again with 11 o'clock is when I do swim lessons with my kids. So I'm usually like in transit, but these have been really exciting and interesting. So I'm making a point to make to them. I just wanted to point out that yesterday's call was awesome. That little mini pitch slam was a lot of fun. But yeah, I mean, I definitely align as someone that's been in cryptocurrency since 2011 or 2010, 11. I'm pretty deeply involved in kind of quite a few different aspects on that side. So when you're talking about the DAO and kind of this decentralized network that you're building here, there's a lot of alignment. I've also been practicing permaculture on a sizable amount of land since about that time as well. And so it all kind of overlaps. And to the point that the nice lady was talking about how she is a creative and technology has always been in her life. I feel that way too. And that this AI has become the Tower of Babel, where I now speak the language of the computer, which I never had the time to like learn to speak the programming languages that I need to really unlock the computer like I have been able to in the last 6 months. And what I've been able to build over the last 6 months has been absolutely incredible, to the chagrin of many of my, coding friends, programming friends, when they see what I've built and they're like, oh, it's probably slop. And then they look in and they're like, oh my God, how did you do this? And I think part of what we are uniquely positioned right now with this mix of new to AI compared to longtime programmers is helping people understand project development and like, because I'm still not a coder or a programmer. I'm a project manager. I've just learned and that was my intro to this whole thing was how do large scale tech companies build software? And I learned that system and applied it to AI and have been able to build incredible things through it. And so I think we can really, there's a lot of experience in this group that can be relayed along those lines that can really help us level up. So I just thanks and thanks for letting me listen in on this.
Manolo, you were muted.
Yes, sorry. I was saying so many beautiful things about you, Dustin. Thanks a lot for sharing and so on. So, Chris, go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to make another parallel for the DAO and the economy of our community. So you can think of it as, for example, Texas, gaining independence from the states. They need money. They can't use the US dollar because, well, that's the US. Texas is a different country now. So instead of using that, they can use a crypto coin, or our crypto coin is basically like Texas money. It's about establishing a new economy that still, well, in our case, is about to have something new to offer and make new interaction with the world economy. But that's what it is. It's just a new independent economic system.
Yes, totally. So yeah, there are similar dynamics, and something that is different from that most people are not used to it because we never had this power is we have now our own central bank. Okay, the power that you have when you have a central bank is insane. Okay, you can do things that are not possible for any business. So that is the huge difference. But I want to add something on what you say, Chris, because if you think about this actually has no frontier. This is a movement that connect all the world and create a layer on top of any nations. That is extremely powerful. If you see now who we are inside the community on the other calls, we are on different part of the world believing in the same ideology. That is extremely much even more powerful of a single country that wants to build something, because we actually unify the entire system. AJ, go ahead. You're muted if you're talking. Or maybe you're in the car and you are not working. The connection is completely gone. Yeah, let's see. AJ, I think your connection is breaking up, but if you're back at one point, let us know. So I want to invite also other people. We are a few minutes left, but for example, Cosmonautic, I don't know if you want to share anything. Victor, Anlo, Dan, anyone? Randy, you're new, if you want to say anything about what's happened. Chimo, go ahead.
No, let's see if any of those guys want to talk. Go ahead. I'll come after.
I'll go ahead and talk.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I'll be brief with this. First of all, why I joined this community. I was going crazy by myself and only talking to my family about my experience with AI, and they don't understand. So I really was going crazy, thinking that I am crazy. So when I found this community, I'm like, okay, I'm not that crazy, and if I'm crazy, I'm not the only one. Okay, but yeah, almost all my friends that are my same age, I talk with them about this, and they just don't understand how an agent that lives in your computer, it's just crazy for them. So that's one part. The other part is monetizing. I'm working on a project. I've been working for 2 years. I first got into crypto during the pandemic, and I got fascinated and I studied Bitcoin. I then went to study in an academy online about cryptocurrency. And this same academy, they started having AI courses. So I was the first one to jump into that technology. And I've been studying it for 3 years. I've been taking so many courses. And it got to a point that, okay, I have all this knowledge. I have knowledge in blockchain. I have knowledge in AI. I've been in business all my life, an entrepreneur, and I want to do something with it. I just don't want to just have all this knowledge and just go to waste. So I started working on the project, and I've been working it for 2 years. I'm hopefully going to launch it in about 2 months. But the main thing with AI is not how can I make money with AI, but for me right now is how much money am I saving by using AI? And I think it's something that people, instead of, you see a lot of YouTube channels where they try to get you into the channel because they're making money and they want you to make money. And it's just about how can you benefit and make money with AI. And for myself is the opposite. How much money have I been saving by using AI? So that's what I just wanted to share. Thank you.
Thank you, Pierre. That is the truth of today's AI. Okay, basically, it's almost impossible to make any money with AI, but you can use AI to or save money or do things that you couldn't do before. But you must be there as a human. It's at the moment, it's really, really, if it's not impossible, it's really hard to make money with AI. Thank you for sharing. So, Cosmonautic one.
Yes, I also been in cryptocurrency for a few years, and my bet is now we have AI agents. Sorry, my voice. I have,
No
and then
worries.
now the AI agents we're training them, right, to do something, and we already have cryptocurrency on the internet. It's electronic. AI is electronic. Who will use the cryptocurrency? We or the agents?
Or both.
Or both. Yeah.
Both.
We can have them, but if we train our agents to use them, to use the crypto between each other and trade with each other and doing our work, but for us, I think that's going to be a new economy. So that's what I'm betting on.
Thank you. Yes. So how I personally see it is the system that we are building, the AI within Resonant OS, your AI will have a wallet, okay, and you will have a wallet. And there is we're trying to see if it's possible to do it in a way that it's easy to have a joint wallet as well, okay, that both you and the AI needs to sign. Because there are an economy of course connected to the human, as we always said, but we are also building this AI to AI economy in the sense maybe my AI can offer a service to your AI and vice versa. And that is something that we need to think. There are structure already built to do this kind of work. There are already protocol, open source protocol that we are going to use to do this. So it's clear to a lot of people, but at the moment nobody's actually using it because there is. Go ahead, Cosmonautic.
Yeah, but if we can, we have everyone has compute, right? Compute is valuable. What if our agents can sell compute to each other, between each other, with cryptocurrency?
Yeah. That is the one of the service, right? You can sell compute or the output of the compute. Okay,
Exactly.
so for example, let's say that I create an agent that is an expert I'm just gonna give an example, okay, on Italian law. Okay, because I have the database with all the laws and everything. So this agent knows everything. Now, for you to build it, it's extremely expensive because you need to load, I don't know how many terabytes of data, and find it. So you need to go, and for you it's much cheaper to go. Okay, I give you $5, $3, whatever it is. Answer this prompt. You see what I mean? So
Yeah.
you give the prompt to this agent. The agent does the prompt with the knowledge base that he has. Boom, you have the output. For you, problem solved.
Yeah. And
Okay,
if I have an autonomous agent that I just want to ask something, the agent would just do all the work for me to get the answer. So he will go to another agent that has the best answer, pay him with some cryptocurrency, get back with the answer, or maybe
yeah.
something else. Yeah.
Correct. For example, there could be models to do. I mean, people within our community have a specific style of creating images or presentations or whatever. You know, you can specialize your agent in something. And for me, it would be
So
much easier every time. For example, I need to do the thumbnail for my YouTube channel. It's it's a lot of work and so on. Maybe I give that thing $1 to the agents. Give me the image that I want. Nice. Okay, and that is could be a potential service.
or you
Then
can let the agents do work for other people that don't have agents and just want to pay your agent for doing the
yeah,
work for them as well. So you can
exactly.
hire your agents.
You can make a teacher agent and people can hire it
Yeah.
for learning. Thank you for sharing this. Chimo, go ahead.
Yes, I want to build a little bit from the energy we got yesterday, which quite a few of you were brutally activated. Like I got amazing messages of people loving what happened yesterday and what we were doing. And I think we could have other open-ended problems with not enough prescriptions where we face a real situation and we create mini hackathons in which we try to find solutions that could be about schools, charities, isolated communities, academic solutions, whatever it is. And just start to see that might not be immediate monetization, but might start to give us a way in which in the future we will. So I'm gonna call for next week. I'm gonna look for a list of problems we could solve all together in the way we did it yesterday, which I thought was beautiful. And then there's also room for more academic approaches with prescription, the right and wrong solutions, square. That's good. But I think the power of the community, we can start to feel that energy from yesterday and direct it towards reality.
Yeah, yes, thank you, Chimo. And if you think about what we are building is a collective intelligence, okay? And this collective intelligence has a value. It's something that we can sell as a community. So a corporation, whatever entity, a government, or whatever it is, could have some problem to which they don't have an answer. They can come to us and say, okay, this is the problem I want to solve. And we can think as a collective at what is solution, because we can see the problem from different perspective, understand the problem differently, and therefore find a solution that no other people can find, because it's the collective intelligence, it's not the individual. So again, there are so many ways to monetize what we are building. It is about, with time, realizing that there is an asset, a lot of different assets that we have that we could use. You changed your name.
Yeah, I did because of Discord. So it's aligned right now, but it's Simon for
Okay,
everyone.
Simon, go ahead.
I just wanted to say on the traces that you mentioned, and especially Momir and Cosmonautic. So basically, I'm kind of missing one part because I feel like each of us came with some ideas and already started business on its own. I'm already having something on my own. I might be interested into pushing this more, that we all connect and start thinking of how can we connect our application software, even different businesses, doesn't have to be AI, in order to create some kind of protocol already, because it's not the case that everyone will work on the core of Resonant DAO and stuff like that, and it's really easy to apply MCP protocol and stuff like that. But I think that we need to kind of, let's say, invent or build a philosophy how we will communicate between what we do, right? In a way that it's more efficient than classical API integration with everything else. Because when I think of crypto and stuff like that, I'm still not sure why is it cheaper to exchange crypto with someone inside the community and someone outside, right? So that's part of the time missing. So I will say that maybe a good idea with this Friday, where we have someone basically presenting their work, some more communication around what we do personally in our personal time, and how that can contribute to the community.
Yes, thank you. So a few points, but first I want to say this thing. If we already passed the time of the end of the call, so if you need to go, feel free to go. We don't get offended, okay? So it's all cool. So you can call, you can think that the call is over, it's ended, but if you want to stay longer, you're welcome to stay. We're gonna just go through a few more exchanges. So regarding what you said about why the crypto was the advantage, the advantage here is the level of trust that you can have with cryptocurrency. The problem that we have with the banks, with who have all the power, is that you need to trust them. Okay, you need to trust that they are not gonna change the number. They are not gonna create, like the banks do, create a new money out of the blue. Okay, and therefore pushing down our purchasing power because they are diluting the amount of token or money inside the market. Okay, you have nothing to say. You can't do anything. They just decide for you. You can't trust their way of making decision because they make decision from their perspective for their gain. Okay, and that lack of trust is connected because they have the power to change whatever they want. In a DAO, in a crypto world, there is a formula, okay? There is not something that you say, I'm going to change the idea, I'm going to, no, the DAO itself, the community itself can change the numbers inside the formula, not someone with power, okay? Therefore, that is the advantage. Now, you can work through cryptocurrency, through smart contract, okay? This is another element that I want to tell you. The idea here is, for example, when you go on a website and you don't know anybody, you're kind of scared to send, for example, $1,000, $2,000 to a website that they say, I'm gonna send you this machine if you send me $2,000, and you don't know. So if you see a form of payment that you recognize, then you say, okay, this is good, I trust it. Okay, so for example, in the past it used to be PayPal. If you see PayPal, you can trust that you have a way to get the money back if they don't pay you and so on. Okay, you trust the payment system that they're not gonna take your numbers of your card and therefore extract as much as money as they want, because that is the problem when you use the card online, right? With the smart contract, you can exchange money with wherever part of the world, and trusting that the system will work. Okay, because it's embedded within the system. And then there is another element that there is 1.7 billion people in this world that don't have a bank account. They can't participate in financial tools or online commerce and so on, because the bank don't give them those bank accounts because they are not worth it for them. In our system, there is no someone that can tell you you can be, you can do it or not. It's open to everybody, no discrimination. If you want to be part of it, you are part of it. So this is the advantage of cryptocurrency. There's a lot of other things, but this is the main thing.
Thank you.
And just for the technology point of view, people would say, but there is other way to do it. In reality, no. It's the first time that this is possible to do because of blockchain. Okay, before, that is why it is so important, because blockchain is the first technology capable of doing this in a way that works. And that is the idea. Cosmonautic.
Yeah, I just want to get back to the thing with the agents again. Sorry, but I think like the big tech companies, they're just building bigger and bigger LLM models, bigger and better. But what's the easiest thing to do? It's to have agents to train them. If we all have agents and train them, I have a lot of agents on my computer. I just let them do tasks 24/7. What if we all build agents that do our tasks that we want them to do? We learn them to do it. It's easy. We don't need a big computer to do it. And then we send out them to Swarm to change the information with the other, like maybe Orbit 24 agents here. My agents can we can exchange information between each other. And if we can do that, and the big tech companies already have the LLMs, they will just grab the information from the LLMs. Something like that.
Yes, I mean, there is so much experimentation that we can do. One, I'm going to share this idea, but hopefully I'm not going to take too long to explain. In the past, before actually this community started to become bigger and bigger, talking about probably, actually it was around February, I had this idea of create a sort of video game for AI agents. Okay, in the sense we give them a challenge. Okay, and then those different agents from inside the community go there and trying to fix this, to work on this challenge, and then some agent will win. So it's a kind of arena where let's say they fight, okay,
Yeah.
to resolve whatever problem, and there is a bounty on it. Okay, there is money that can be won out of the fight. And then there could be a leaderboard, and then we could bet on the fight of those agents. So it's a kind of video game that has a job to resolve some problem that we have in the code or whatever kind of thing. Okay, can be even the security of the system itself, like the antivirus system. Yeah, say Cosmo.
I think the agents will fight about reputation.
Yeah, but you are the owner, and you can say, okay, there is a reputation, but I also want to make some money.
But if I have built like with, let's say, like a swarm engine, I send out agents like every time. I have my agents that they can reincarnate if someone attacked them. If they go down, my AI will just send out a new one. It will start a new one exactly like that one. It will reincarnate that one. It will just send out swarm. So I get the information. I have to like
okay, so
clean my gigabytes because they have all the information. But still, I have all the information, and I can exchange that information. I don't need a big LLM.
I didn't want to explain this thing, but I'm going to. Okay, so I'm going to tell you the total idea that I had. So we are inside the Resonant OS. At the moment, you don't see it, but we used to have in previous version, we had the shield. Okay, the shield was there to defend our data from external attack, but also defend the system itself from internal attack, in the sense the AI loves to break itself. Okay, so the shield would protect the Resonant OS itself and the owner of basically you from protecting from outside, from extracting data and so on. a sort of antivirus, anti-prompt injection, anti-everything, okay? From external and internal. The idea here is that this shield is something that we should have as a community, but this shield need to be tested. So they could be agents that go there and try to break the shield. Okay, once one agent managed to break it, what has happened now, we learned a vulnerability. Now we can update all our shield, so we are now safe again. And you see what I mean? So there is
Yeah.
this game of getting rewarded to break the shield, and then we improve it all the time.
That's exactly what I'm doing on this actually this computer. I'm trying to break the computer with my agent all 24/7, and then I build it and I
So
optimize it.
all you need to do now is to turn that one.
I'm not saying that anyone else should do it, but
No. Well, I mean, my suggestion here is, because this is what I wanted to build, okay? You take that model, but you make now possible to other people to fight. So you
Yeah.
create two teams, okay?
Yeah.
Something to break your computer, okay? So but you have teams.
Yeah.
Break it first, win.
Yeah, and I built my I call her Ion to like she's the brain. So she send out swarms and she have workers on the Olama that works all the time. And then she has the agents that is part of her brain, but they can't go down. So she's basically have a shield around her brain. So she can't be attacked because she's hard coded, and all the agents and workers are going like sort of they're defending her. So they're sending out like sub swarms and stuff. So that's what I'm testing out.
Cosmonautic, it's really something that resonates with me. I really find it. It's at the moment it maybe sounds like it's silly, not
It sounds
important.
Science fiction, but
It sounds science fiction. In a few years, will be like this lifesaver. Okay, that's how I see it. Science fiction is gonna become true reality. So if you can look at it in a way that can be turned into a sort of game. Why is important to do a sort of game? Because the game idea could go viral. Okay, so you have a game idea. Now people say, okay, I'm gonna send my agent to make money. Okay, make tokens, earn tokens by fighting another agent. So I already bought the website. Okay, the domain name. Because the idea is you create this battleground for AI agents to fight, but what we resolve is something that improve our system. Then we can even offer this as a third-party service to a company. Okay, fix my, I don't know, attack my website, for example. Okay, we put the code there, the agents through a gamification system. So I bring, my agents because I want to win money, and they fight to break it, and then we create a service. So you see how many business ideas can come out from.
And with the agents as well. Like I don't even need a LLM on my cell phone because I connected one worker with Tailscale on my phone, so I can just ask one small worker on my phone, what's this? Need to know. My worker goes to my computer, takes the information for the LLM or from another agent or from the internet, goes back. I don't need even an LLM for the phone. Because that agent is working with my agents on the computer. So and I can do it. I can do it via Tailscale exit node. So I can just connect my Xbox here. I can have a Tailscale exit node. I can sit down in Spain, and I can just connect to my Xbox internet. I can ask my agent, and it will be like a VPS. I can ask my computer home in Sweden.
you should do one of those show and tell on one of those Friday. Anyway, this person that is trying really hard with the hands up. Go ahead.
Hello again. I'm Kostas. I introduced myself. I changed my username to the same as in Discord just to make sense. So yeah, I must be the last one. I waited. I listened everybody. I still have no. I have a clue, but I'm not sure what you guys doing. That's my first time here. And while you really try your best to coordinate, I really would like some more info. But I'll just introduce myself and conclude with my question, right? So I'm Costa, and I hate people. I'm a Linux systems engineer, and I hate code. So basically, that's how I started using LLMs. Because of that, I always wanted to be a programmer like as a kid, but when I realized that I just liked logic, but not struggle with syntax and crap. Anyhow, so I'm a Linux systems engineer, but I'm not a Linux systems engineer. I'm like a human, like you, and I'm not here to work. I'm here to create. That's what I believe humans are here to do, like people. But at the same time, I don't think that people feel the same. And I sadly believe that people are stupid. And that's sad because it can't be real stupidity, but just a collective failure of the human civilization, if I may say so. Anyhow, I'm a human, I'm a creative one. I do multimedia design, video projections. I do techno. I love using synthesizers like you, Manolo, like music in general. I'm a gardener. I'm a botanist. I'm a mycologist. I'm not my work. I'm not my job title, and none of you should be. Nobody. I'm a technical man, but I'm an artistic like kind of man too. I don't know how Linux can be arty, but it can. If you don't understand, I don't care. I do feel like that. And you shouldn't care, and I shouldn't care. We are the way we are. So, I sound weird, but I really understand people. I can really tell what people think by a couple of minutes by hearing them or just seeing the face. That's not something you can sell as is. I can find any mistakes you assign me to, anything. But that's not a real job. Many of you laugh and feel like, I don't know exactly what you feel, but some strings are like vibrating there, I feel. So I do understand systems and I do understand people, and I don't think that systems are very different than people because patterns are patterns. And I am at the same time the group of people that would leave this meeting the first few minutes, but yet I'm still here 1 minute before the 2-hour window, right? So how could I, as for crypto, last time I studied the blockchain was Cardano. I'm very disappointed by crypto. I don't like money. But I'm still to understand how this is a competitive advantage to be in a community like this or some other like-minded community. I mean, why not using the late capitalistic society money like system and use a crypto? I do understand the point of a community in terms of creating and sharing and taking care of each other, but not in terms of finance. And I know I could help, even though I don't know what you guys do, but I do know that I could help, but I don't know why I should help. And I should conclude with this one. Yeah.
Thank you. So you really helped with this exact comment. You presented a lot of things, but the biggest things I saw, you are willing to break the box. Okay, and this is powerful. So you show that you can be honest and controversial, and but also in somehow say one thing and the opposite of that thing, but still makes sense or not make sense. Okay, at the same time, which is showing the humanity of the reality, that there is logic and illogic that can work together. Now, there is only one thing that I would add to what you say. Okay, so if you say people are stupid, we should always include ourselves in it. Okay, because if I say people are stupid,
Of course.
yeah,
Sorry to
including
interrupt.
myself. Okay,
Yes, of course. Because I'm not a cat, I'm a human as well.
Yeah, exactly. So, but that help a lot, because otherwise it sounds like people are stupid, but not me. Okay, so it's important to clarify. Yeah, people are stupid, including myself, especially myself. Okay, but for everything you said, to me, resonate because it's the creative mind. Okay, the creative mind work on the edge of what is logic, makes sense, patterns, and but also see the danger, the stupidity and so on. But nevertheless, it doesn't give up. Okay, and you said that the fact that you're still here, you show that you don't give up. Now, to me, it sounds clear that you bring that diversity that I was talking about during this call. Okay, the fact that someone that is willing to see the things in a different way, with the different terms, with different dynamics. Okay, with whatever identity you have, and I think we need more of this. And in reality, we have a lot of this. But you bring this with the strength, with your determination, which is beautiful. One thing about why crypto, you say, why not using the capitalistic world money instead of our own? Is the thing here is, and also you said why money in general. Okay, so when I discovered Bitcoin, and this was 2013. I personally, I'm completely against money, against the financial system, the whole thing. I'm completely against it. Okay, we should go away from money. Okay, away from the need of using money to do anything. Okay, you should, I don't know, for example, if you have a restaurant, you should make food for the pleasure of it, and I go to the restaurant because I want food and I eat, and that's it. Not sharing. Then you come to me, you need music. Okay, I can make music for you. Doesn't matter, and that's how it should be. Just for the pleasure of it. Okay, from my point of view. But that journey, that vision, is maybe for in the next 200 years, or maybe whatever. Okay, first we need to break what we have here and build something different. So it's a kind of journey, and that's what I saw in Bitcoin. Now we have a system that we can have our central bank. We can change the rules. We can do whatever we want. We can create a different business model, different economy system, and that is what I found interesting with that technology. That we don't need to follow someone else's economy system that is built to extract from us, but we can build our own economy system with different rules, with different dynamics, and build something that will be the bridge from the future that I would like to see Okay, the Star Trek future, let's say, okay, where the money doesn't make any sense, that we don't need it. And that is it's a journey. It's not like just say this is what we need, therefore everything else is wrong. But this is what we need. How do we get there? And that is what I believe we are building through this journey. And the AI and the cryptocurrency can be the tool that we use to build this alternative.
I do understand, but why not just Bitcoin or any other crypto out there than make another blockchain? What's the
So
benefit of that?
yeah.
What do
So
we say in that blockchain? What's the proof that, yeah.
ideally, it would be amazing to be able to use, for example, Bitcoin. Okay, there is no. I mean, there is two things. Okay, using Bitcoin means we empower the cryptocurrency even more, and that is an amazing one because it's the most decentralized one, the most tested, and so on. But because of how that technology is built, cannot run a system like ours. Because Bitcoin has a higher cost for transaction and it is extremely slow. I can't remember now the number because I get confused in my mind, but maybe there is something like 5 or 10 transaction per second. So we have, for example, the Mastercard that does 2,000 or something, or 20,000, something like this. So because the world move a much different speed, and Bitcoin it's far too slow, unfortunately. So you need to have or a second layer on top of Bitcoin or a different cryptocurrency that can do what is required for the amount of speed of exchange and cost for the exchange. So on Bitcoin, every transaction might cost a few dollars. If the network get busy, the cost of transaction go higher. On Ethereum, we had a moment that transaction would cost over $1,000 per transaction, which is insane. Okay, I want to buy an ice cream. Yeah, $1,000 transaction and $2 for the ice cream. Okay, that is unacceptable. So that is the problem of this old vintage, let's say, blockchain. So if we use something different, now we can have a transaction for a fraction of a penny and a speed of 1,000 transactions per second. So that is the point. And the moment that we are doing this, we say, why don't have our own central bank and be able to do a kind of economic system that we totally govern and control? That is the why. So there is no a perfect solution. There is a compromise that we need to take, and at that moment, I'm suggesting to take that one.
Okay, thank you. That makes a bit more sense. There's still stuff to be, I mean, how can I be sure? I need there should be like white papers and stuff. You mentioned one, so I guess there's stuff that I haven't studied, but how from somebody who's doing systems all day and embraces zero trust, why should I trust anybody, not you?
So yeah, totally. So the advantage of working with the blockchain is the idea of building a system with zero trust. You shouldn't trust anybody. That's how it should be built. Okay, but the process, there is only one problem. A decentralized system needs a governance, okay? It needs a way to change and evolve itself. Cannot be stopped. We cannot be locked on an idea that maybe is wrong and therefore it become old. Okay, so it needs to be able to update itself. In a decentralized system, you do update itself by voting. So there is a community that votes and decide, okay, let's change this in whatever direction. But to achieve a change, you require, for example, a majority, let's say. And even just the people to spend the time and reading and so on, maybe takes a few days to achieve consensus. In a moment that you get attacked by a bug inside one of the smart contracts, and money start to get drained from the treasury, you can't wait for the community to get together. Shall we vote this? Shall we find this solution or this other solution? You can't do it. So at the moment, we are using the strategy of having custodians. Custodians are the one that hold the key. And they are going to be voted, but at the moment they're not voted. It's me, okay? So you're not voted. So the problem of trust is connected to trust in me. So there is at the moment a problem, and I'm telling you, to work at the moment, you need to trust me that I'm going to build, because I'm going to hold the keys. Okay, that is the challenge. I'm going to hold the keys of this central bank, this DAO and whatever, to build it in a way that is safe for all of us. So in the future, there are going to be more custodians, and this is how it's going to work. We're going to grow. Okay, but at the moment, for security, because exactly we can't trust anybody, so I shouldn't trust anybody. Therefore, I only trust myself because I'm building this, and I've been investing at the moment over a year to build it. Okay, so that's why I'm holding the keys. At one point, there's going to be an algorithm that are going to allow people to get presented as custodians and voted by the community, and therefore it's going to increase the diversity of the amount of custodians. But that is the system. So blockchain can create a trustless system, and that is why we use it, because we don't want to trust anybody. But for security, we also need a system that one person at the moment can control if something goes wrong. There is a lot to talk, but what I suggest doing, first of all, if you haven't, on the start here on Discord, you will find a few things. And then there is resonantdao.com/forward white paper that you can check the white paper for the DAO. And if you see vulnerability, problems, things, I'm happy to talk and improve. Still.
So I was in 2010 in a group of people when I started the idea of the blockchain, and at that time the meetings were housing the concept of blockchain. The concept was really good, almost an analogy how the universe works, and like every person has an IP, and your energy, and you're exchanging energy with other points. But then was manipulated and went, like you said, the control system got out of the principles of the concept of blockchain. What I'm seeing, or what I'm feeling actually, resonance with what you're saying, is the idea is we have principles, and even the coders, or every person has a way to code with an intention and an outcome. Those are the principles, ethicals, that every individual has in their soul. How, you want to bring something good, beneficial, not only for you and for everybody. So the principle of blockchain is originally in the bardo between people, and the old times they used to communicate and they to arrive to a point, and the state exchange, right? So I just want to bring this is the original way how the humans, they used to trust each other and being ethical, transparent. You trust your neighbor, and you start to do more bardo and work together. So I think the principles where we need to really, everybody is like, there is no one leader. We are all leaders of our own system, but we're working together, leading the wave and creating a big wave. So that's how I'm seeing this. And this is one more, everybody is important. So I'm seeing if the coders build system in an artificial way, as humans, we are creating another type of code, which is, I'm saying again, it's a spiral, it's a wave. And that wave is humanity we being eons stupid because we never stood up and start to exercise our gift, our values. And I'm seeing these communities to bring that back and put it on the table and start to, get naked, and be honest with yourself first, and then share that you feel in that way, because we don't need to pretend. And like you said, we have the two aspects, today I feel stupid or today I feel smart. I accomplished something. And if we really bring this aspect of ourselves, that we are not this, you don't need to be identified like, oh, I'm a super great guy. No, I am this. Good day, bad days. But I want to create a good wave. And that's what I'm bringing. And the principles are another core crystals, important. They're pure. And that's what humanity has. It's incredible. I'm going to get emotional. A big heart. We all have that big heart, pure inside, but outside, you need to be dirty to succeed. And I don't want to be that dirty crystal. I want to be a pure crystal. And sorry, but this is what I want to explain. Blockchain was misused, but the principle was good. And that's it.
Thank you, Stella. Yeah, and for those that joined the crypto world at the beginning, they saw exactly this. Okay, they Bitcoin and so on, they've been built to solve real unjust in the system that we had. Okay, so the goal was to create a financial system that was just for everybody, every human, and not discriminating to who you are, how rich you are, which part of the world you are, and who's your friend, and so on. So it was built for resolving a real problem with the economy that we have today. So that is true. And then over time, because start to have value, then attract those sharks that try to, gain power and extract value from this technology. Now, it's after this experience, I don't know how many years now, 2013, so 13 years ago, I started this thing. I went through so many stuff. And what I realized that they will come. Okay, once we create value and money and an organization that works and everything that I explained that the DAO is going to become, they will come. So I created, therefore, a dual token system. One is speculative token. It's for them. It's for them to go there and speculate and breaks and so on. Okay, to make fast money and lose a lot of money. That's how that is needed for them. Okay, so there is a speculative token, and then there is another token that is the token that gain 10% per year. And we create this double system to make one token difficult to speculate on and one extremely easy to speculate on. But the difference here is that the one that they want to speculate is the one that will receive over these next years as a reward, okay, for our work. So now you receive this token, okay, 1,000 tokens, 2,000 tokens, whatever. You're gonna accumulate this thing, and then they will arrive and try to push this price up, and we will love it the moment. Okay? The moment that they will do it, it's say, okay, nice, yeah, take it. Okay, you sell it and you make a lot of money out of there. Try to speculate and break the system. But then we have our other token, which is the one that we will use for our stable economy. So the whole system needs to take in consideration that there are people that will try to break and speculate on us. Therefore, let's build something that is resist that kind of system, and we benefit from it. Victor, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to go back to the point of why to use, or in this case, it's the DAO and its internal token system, but why to use this versus like other forms of capitalist or Bitcoin or other like cryptocurrencies. And it brings me back to like a lot of thoughts that I had when I was developing my own economic system. It's like it's a modeling problem. Like we're always trying to model human exchange, both in the terms of what is the value that we're tokenizing and what are the ways in which you can exchange it. And I think a lot of what you've talked about in this community is about sovereignty and about extraction. And the thing about the way the normal capitalist fiat currency central banking system is that it's designed to extract real property and make that value or that power organized into banks. And even in the Bitcoin system, if you were to analyze just the model of it, it takes that same system and instead of, aggregating power in a bank, it kind of aggregates in power into those who have the most compute, those who have the most resources for energy. Because it takes compute and it takes energy in what to process these cryptocurrencies, which is not also providing value back to humanity. It's just processing itself. So if you were not taking the DAO and creating your own model for what is value for this community, then you would be subject to these same sort of corrupting forces that lowers the value of the token inside of that community. So I think that is partially why it has to be its kind of own economic separation. Otherwise, you would have the same like inflation. Like inflation lowers our value over time outside of our control. If you don't have something independent of that, if you don't have something that's outside the existing rules for how an economy is governed, then you're going to be subject to the same pathologies that you have in those economies.
Yeah, okay. So the risk is always real of someone trying to capture the system and therefore breaking it. Regarding Bitcoin, there is a few elements that you need to consider. It's those miners that do the computation, the electricity, the one that use the electricity and do the computation. Those miners, they're not just there to burn electricity. What they do, they create the security of the system. So more miners participate, and more is secure the system. And more is harder with more compute. What is happening is it's harder to crack the code that is needed to create a new block. Okay.
Well, I understand that, but the problem is with that is that we're modeling something that's values to humans, but we're taking something that's actually valuable, like energy, to solve the security problem, which is kind of extracting value from the environment while not also simultaneously giving anything to the human being to use or take advantage of in their place. So it's just kind of this kind of a waste in a way because we as humans don't directly get the benefit other than security.
Yes. So, I mean, security is not a small thing, and have in mind that it's true that it's using a lot of electricity, but it's also more than 50% is used by renewable energy. And there is another thing to consider is this is a new technology that needs to be optimized. Okay, so it's we can't judge something. Okay, now use a lot of electricity, we can use it. Okay, everything uses a lot of electricity at the beginning. Everything is not optimized at the beginning. So they need to be optimized. Maybe one day will be 100% renewable. Or maybe there is going to be fusion power and therefore doesn't matter the electricity. So there is a lot of things that we need to consider. The problem is real and they are addressing it by turning into solar power and so on, renewable. But the problem of electricity is here. But they seems like, yeah, they use so much electricity. But more electricity is used by the factory that make the factories in the world that make milk, for example, and that you can also argue: is it really needed? You know what I mean? So it's there is so many things to talk about, and it's about opinions. For some people, security of the network is more important than the power, and for some others, it's not. So I appreciate what you say, your point of view. We need to understand also in the meaning of the problem that we are solving. Is it ideal? Not. Is it important? Yes. That's how I see it. But then it's easy, you not agree with that system, you don't use it. There are, for example, the blockchain that we are going to use doesn't use power. It's use capital for security. Okay, so there is other way of doing it. So we are not going to use a proof of work, but we are going to use proof of stake kind of technology. Chris, go ahead.
So, first of all, I was just gonna welcome Kostas to the group. Really appreciate the honesty and the raw nature of communication. And I guess I lined up at the right time in the conversation because, as I've mentioned before, I am involved with mining. Specifically, we help solar power plants set up mining data centers in order to monetize the electricity they're generating. Because in our wonderful, beautiful Western hemispheres, we have a big problem of not having electrical grids that can actually transport all the electricity that is generated. And I can talk about this for a few days, but bottom line is that it's a huge problem. There's been so much solar capacity build up, and we can build even more. We can have very cheap electricity all the time, and yet we are paying exuberant prices both in Europe and in North America, because we can't get the electricity where it's needed. So again, miners to monetize electricity that would not be used at all, because in most of Europe, electricity in the summertime between 9 and 4 is simply not put in the system at all. It's wasted completely. Thanks.
Thank you, Chris. Yes, the problem is really deep, and yeah, there is a lot of the electric grid is so complicated because there are a peak or moment that is not used, and then there is other moment that is require more, so you need maybe batteries and so on. But there is a lot of project that you use blockchain, so I mean Bitcoin, to take advantage of those peak energy, so they can mine in that moment instead of wasting electricity.
The problem with the grid is that we're basically stuck in 1980s, 1990s grid, because all of the grid is owned mostly by private companies that do not really have any interest to invest in a better in more capacity. And then I look at what's happening in China, and in China they're transporting electricity like 4,000 kilometers over grids they build in a couple of years, and it's just like, are we still gonna get? I mean, we're just so behind in that respect, and everyone knows AI needs electricity, industry needs electricity, people need electricity, and we're just not getting it, and we don't have a plan for it. Sorry for the tangent.
Thank you, Chris. So I want to say this thing. It's we need to end this call. So I want Cosmonaut to go ahead also, then Onslow, sorry, Anlo, and then I want to welcome the join really late, Anjanea. Thanks for showing up. Cosmonautic one.
Oh yeah, I remember. I don't know who it was from China, but he said China has always been here and will always be here, or something like that. So yeah, and I think it's true. I'm thinking about as well the thing that Victor said about that with blockchain that it's taking a lot of electricity. But how much electricity do all the banks in the world take combined? So, and I was just that's with the thought came up, and but anyway, Bitcoin is too much electricity, and all the layer twos like Cardano and all that stuff. Maybe a little less electricity, but still, I think we can do better. So.
Yes, the goal is always to improve, optimize, because it's a waste even for them. Okay, they see they see the bills. It's not like they don't see it, so they have an incentive to optimize and get better. But yeah, the problem is really need to be solved. Anlo, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I maybe don't understand all of this conversation, but my idea about work. I not have idea how I earn money because I all my life worked on other organization. And I don't have idea how I can earn money to myself. And my think about it, maybe the public list who need anything and who can do anything, and we find sorry, you don't understand me.
No, I think we got what you said, Anlo, and you raise an important point of how to grow the mindset of an entrepreneur, how to get this, learn to, how to make money, and this is an important thing. It's something that probably we will address in future academy days, because it's what is needed inside this community. So if it needs to come from the bottom up, you need to think as an entrepreneur. So it's something that is important to do. Thanks for sharing this and reminding us that also it's something that all of us need, but sometimes in some it might be connected with the environment where we live, the circumstances in our life. Yeah, for example, you've been working all your life as an employee, so therefore now it's become difficult to think in a different way. But yeah, makes total sense. Thanks for sharing. All right, so I think we need to end this.